I'm going to go through 3 key tips for beginner photographers, wedding photographers that you should do while, maybe while you've still got a full-time job that can really benefit and push you forward a lot quicker than maybe what other photographers do. So tip number 1, offer to do, your first wedding for pretty much nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. I did that, I did it for like 300 quid. My first few weddings, it got my portfolio quick up and running. And then within a year, I was then shooting 30 weddings. So there's nothing wrong with that. You can do it. You're not harming anyone. You're not affecting, the high-end photographers or experienced photographers like myself, because our pricing's a lot higher. So our bride and grooms, your bride and groom is not going to be my ideal client. Don't worry about that. Do what works for you. Tip number 2, when I first started doing weddings, I offered a free engagement shoot for every couple. It helped me so much. It benefited me meeting the couple because I was a beginner, like massive inexperienced. So instead of turning up to the wedding and being absolutely shitting myself, it helped a lot by meeting that couple for an hour and a half, in a woodland shoot. I got to know them, they got to know me. I got experience using my camera because my portfolio was still very weak, and it helped me how I wanted to approach couple time photos, portraits. They were getting it for free, so they were still going to get photos out of it that they loved, and I'm sure they did. It didn't matter if there was ones that I looked at and thought, oh God, because I'm learning, and then the most important thing is the wedding, which is what they're paying for. At the beginning, when I started charging £600 a wedding, I always offered a free engagement shoot. Not all couples took it because they didn't have time to do it, they didn't want to do it, but a lot of couples really appreciated it. They loved the time of being with me, getting to know me, and then getting some nice photos that can go on their wall. They could use them photos for invitations. Use that tip, really helped me. Tip number 3, this is the big one for me, still helping me to this day. During COVID, nothing was going on. I was bored. As a street photographer, my hobby, there wasn't much going on the streets because no one was out, so I couldn't really do that. So I was taking photos of my family and stuff to keep using my camera, to keep practicing. Only so much you can do just being in the garden, having barbecues every day. Remember that time in 2020? But what I did, I remember sitting down one day because I was very much, I'd only had 1 full year of weddings. I was like, I'm going to message loads of venues and see if they wanted any photos done, like for the website or Instagram, Facebook, commercial photos, showing their venue, showing the surroundings, the outdoors of their venue, what they can offer. I got together 30 venues, all rustic venues, because I knew I was like, if I'm going to do something for free, I want to be working at a venue that I want to work at and that I love more. With my style of photography, most couples that book me have the whole rustic venue, very untraditional venue. I don't really work at traditional wedding venues because people that work at traditional wedding venues are working with couples that are into that style, my style. So yeah, out of all the 30 I emailed, only 1 got back to me, and they were the Reed Rooms. So I messaged the Reed Rooms and they said, yeah, we'd love you to come and help us. So I said, yeah. I said, I'm not going to offer anything. I said, all I ask for is that you put me on your recommended suppliers. That's all I ask for. If you can't do that, then obviously that's fine, but I won't come do the photos. They was like, yeah, we'll do that for you. So I went to the Reed Rooms, beautiful. I picked a golden, because it's down on me, I was like, right, I'm going to keep checking my weather app. I picked a night where it was going to be clear skies, golden hour. Went and got all these beautiful photos of the venue. Got on their recommended suppliers. This was back in 2020. Since then, I've taken about 15 weddings at the Reed Rooms in the last 5 years. And you can do the math yourself with that. I've earned a lot of bloody money from doing an hour and a half of free photos for a wedding venue. There was no people there. I didn't have to deal with anyone. It was just me walking around, taking photos, doing what I enjoy of architecture in lovely light. That's all I did. And to this day, I'm still in their recommended suppliers and I get constant work for it. And then the work I get through them couples then leads to other weddings from referrals from that couple at that wedding. So it's a no bloody brainer. That is my golden tip. Reach out, if you're at the beginning, reach out to venues and see if they want some photos done for nothing. All you ask for in return is that you go on their recommended suppliers. And then, yeah, like I say, you can end up shooting 15 to 20 weddings in the space of 5 years. I'm not going to go into the maths. You can work that out yourself. Go look at my pricing on my website. You'll work it out for how much I've earned from the Reed Rooms for doing an hour and a half worth of photos for nothing. My travel time, I probably spent 3 hours. No brainer. They're my 3 golden tips. That one being the most golden tip, that last one. especially if you're a beginner, go for that. But even if you're not a beginner, I think especially that last tip, that can help you. You know, if you really want to, if you're doing really well with your business, I'm not trying to, you know, sit and preach to people, say, oh, you know, you're not doing well enough, you're not earning enough money, or if you're doing brilliant and you're like, well, everything's fine, but you might, you know, you might have a love and interest for, like I said, a barn venue, but you've never get the luck to go to a barn venue. So reach out to all the barn venues wherever you live. Just type it in Google, rustic barn venues near me, and reach out to them. You know, when I moved to Cornwall, I reached out to a few, even though I'm established now, I reached out to a wedding venue and said, do you want me to come do some pictures for free? And hear back from them. But, you know, it ain't always going to work. But, you know, I emailed 30 venues before and one got back to me. And that one venue has paid off and they've helped me so much. So thank you, Read Rooms. I love working there. I love all the staff that are there. They always look after me. I always get a nice couple of cold beers out of them. Have a look into it, even if you're not a beginner, you know, and there's a particular theme of venue you want to work at. Sometimes you've got to swallow your pride a little bit. We want as human beings, but we just expect to be paid straight away. Sometimes it doesn't work like that in life. You know, you've got to get the experience for sometimes hardly anything or nothing. Show them what you can do, show what people you can do, and then the success follows after that. So thank you very much. Please subscribe if you want more tips for how I become a wedding photographer, how I became full established wedding photographer. I'll be doing a lot of BTS wedding videos this year. I didn't do enough last year. I only done one in Zante. I want to do a lot more this year because that helps to see, you can see then how I approach weddings, how I go close right in on people, and that really street photography style. But I will be doing videos like this, tips, how to run a business, equipment. But I always try and relate it as much as I can with documentary photography. That's the whole what I love. So thank you very much. Hope to see you again soon. See you later. Bye bye.